Hi, family. Okay, I'm going to address something, and this is for my men. It's something very, very important. If it doesn't resonate with those listening, don't get upset. It's just not for you. All right? There's something going on with the men today, and I will say that there will be a domino effect with how us women are behaving. It will get you to be a certain way. So today, the guys have become spoiled and the women have become desperate. And what I mean by that, before any of you guys freak out, is very simply this. Since most of the girls today, the women today, are after a guy, it changes the whole dynamic. So they'll pursue the guy because the media is kind of enforcing that by saying, okay, if you girls were really confident, you would just walk up to a guy, let him know who you are, ask him out, ask him for his number, blah, 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 blah. Why don't we just like throw our vaginas out the fucking window? Like, hello. When that happens, a couple of things take place. You guys can get confused. You take on the female mentality, the feminine energy, which means you are, and it's not that it's a bad thing to be reluctant to give yourself, but your dominant thinking is, well, okay, if she wants to do this and that, then I'll give her my sex. Then I'll give her myself. That may work for the girls who are just after a dick, but the real women out there, the type of a woman that you see up here, that is a goddess in your eyes, that is a queen, like a real queen. A queen doesn't go trampling through the forest to go see the warrior that wants to see her. So when I hear things like, do you want to come down and meet me? Do you want to come down and fly over? I hope one day you come over to where I'm going to be after all the compliments came about the face, the hair, the body, and stuff like that. I get very disturbed because you guys got to understand, although it's confusing, you need to set in your mind what type of woman you want. Do you want a woman? That means she's a complete package. That means she's not codependent. She's not your mother, your father. She's not your nurse, your coach, your accountant, your life coach. She's a woman. That means she's so filled with her own nature of love, which is inspiration and creativity. That love overspills you and you bathe in that energy. So when you're fucked up from work or day or news or whatever, you rest in the haven of her bosom and you get renewed, recharged, and refreshed like no other guy. She doesn't have to have an intellectual conversation with you. That's not what you need when you're upset. You need her energy. You need her essence. You need the depth of her to dive and lose yourself to and let that old skin fall off. You swim inside, and quite figuratively and literally too, but you swim in her nature. And that's like a shower, a love shower. Because I get very disturbed when I hear guys, because I know a lot of you guys have made it very clear you would like to get to know me, and I'm very flattered and thank you for that. Compliments galore and all that. But you know what? When a woman like me hears something like, do you want to fly down to where I am? You're confusing me with the commoner. You're confusing me with a girl who doesn't know her full strength as a woman. Because a woman who knows her full strength as a woman does not run to a guy. She waits and she watches, and she is receptive to what you as a man have to present her. A real woman, she doesn't want sex. She doesn't want your dick. She wants safety from the world that could harm her. She wants security in this world. You know, most men and women don't realize that, guys, your organs, they're made a certain way for a certain reason. Your strength, like your organs, are on the outside. That's why you got tougher skin. You've got a tougher head, that for sure. You're stronger in your muscles. Well, unless you've been induced or you're a whole different breed or whatever. But I'm talking about an earthborn man. You're tougher on the outside. You're stronger. You're built for the elements. Our strength as a woman is like our organs. Our strength is on the inside. And it is that distinction that enables us to have this equilibrium between us, to have this magic. Because the whole spiritual essence of a feminine energy, which is a law of attraction energy, by the way, is the whole ability to transport you to a different phase, a different place, a different consciousness. That's why the feminine energy is a spiritual nature. And yes, for all you men who like to be more feminine nature and highly creative and very wordy and very sensitive, very emotional, you will attract a woman who's very organized, very intellectual, very logical, who's not that emotional. Because only opposites will attract. I love being emotional, and I love being vulnerable. And so I would not be attracted to a man who's highly emotional unless I was back where I was a few years ago, where I was working out of a wounded state and a very depleted state, where I did not know, and I had forgotten and was no longer tapped into with all the hits I had in life. And that's most of my women here. Most of my women, Heyokas and empath, have been hit so much in life that we got unplugged from our power, unplugged from a very divine, special nature, a plug that we are connected to. And a lot of us got burnt to a singe, and we turned to dust, and then we were literally born again, and we will never be the same. So to all you guys today, do not be confused with the broken, damaged, twisted, warped women who are predominantly masculine oriented, and they are not balanced at all with their feminine energy. That's why they have headaches. That's why they can't turn their head off. That's why they don't like to spend time on just themselves, because it's not productive enough. That's why if you ask them how they're feeling, they won't know. Those women are still injured and are still damaged, and it hurts them too much to feel. That's why they stay busy long enough not to. And now the same with the men who are very, very emotional and very, very triggered and not grounded in their logic enough to judge what makes sense, what does not make sense. Because are they listening to their instincts, or are they listening to their fears, which are an emotional entanglement? And a lot has to do with their mother. Before we can ever get into any kind of a union that is a very blissful one, we must have that sacred union of masculine and feminine energy balanced within ourselves. That means as a woman, you know what to say no to, and there is no guilt. You know what to take charge and to move forward on, and what to withdraw. You know when to leave your intellect aside and just feel from the neck down what feels right and what does not feel right to you, because it doesn't matter what your mind says, because your mind's linked to your past. Your mind's linked to what your mom never did, or what your dad did, or where you feel guilty, or whoever does the shit is stuck in your fucking head. But you see, your body's present. Your instincts, your feelings will always be present if it's not mixed up with the mind. That is a woman who is balanced. And so when we get balanced, we will only and not put up with a man who is either not balanced or not our counterpart. And so no fault to your own, gentlemen, with the way the women are concerned with just like one night stands and how many guys they can fuck. The whole role reversal thing has changed now. So now you kind of feel like you don't want to be used just for your dick. Doesn't feel good, does it? But it's so ill-fitting, I can't tell you, because you men are losing your ability to take action. And when you lose your ability or don't have your ability to take action and your dick isn't sharp because you're scared to approach a girl, you're scared to take action because mommy has been too much around in your life, or you're too much in your feminine energy because you haven't had a father, or you haven't taken action, or you're not living on your own, you haven't taken enough risks. Risks is what makes you completely, I want to say a man, I will say what makes you a man, because when you take a risk, your value of yourself just fills up to the brim. And when you ladies take a risk and say, no, I'm not putting up with this, I'd rather be alone, then that matches you on your feminine side. So all I'm saying is for you guys, when you find a female creature that is unlike any other, don't ever expect her to be normal like the other women you used to know. It's really funny. I had my landlord who asked me a simple question. I said, I don't really want to answer that. I don't answer personal questions about myself if the person is not engaged in my life daily. I just don't do that. What for? And he says, everybody else answers this question. It's a simple question. I don't understand. What's your problem? I'm like, I don't have a problem. You're pulled to me. I'm not like most people. I don't think like most people. I don't act like most people. I don't feel like most people. You're pulled to someone that is unlike most people, but you want them to act like most people. Like, where's your logic? And of course, he's not tied to his logic because this guy's an alcoholic. And guys who are far too emotional will need to go to drugs in order to cope with that overload of emotion, because they're not balanced at all with the strength of their masculinity. And when I mean that, it's not to insult you. Your masculinity stands for grounding. It stands for logic. It stands for organization. It stands for taking action. It's like, that's why your dick is out there. It takes action, or it's limp. That's when it's alive. That's when it rises to the occasion, as it does. And that's when we as women are soft and our juices are flowing, when we feel at ease in the body. So guys, again, if you are after or see someone that is really worth your time, she doesn't care about having sex with you. She cares about what you're bringing to the table. How are you upgrading her life? What are her needs? What are her values? What are you bringing that is going to escalate her whole fucking life, unlike ever before? Don't ask her when she's coming to see you, when she's coming to fly over. You do all the work to start with, because you need to prove to her that you're worthy of her time. Don't be an egg man. And you girls, don't be a sperm girl. If you're going to be an egg man, you're going to have the mentality of an ovary. And that is going to only get a sperm girl to attract with you. And that'll work. But at some point, when she takes over your life and she's too controlling, she's going to remind you of your mother. And you're going to resent her and need her at the same time. So, okay, oh God, I've gone so long. How is it that I do this all the time? I hope something I've said resonates as true. And thank you, everybody, again. You mean a lot to me. Bye for now. Any questions? Hit me up. Ciao.